Hi everybody, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 318. Welcome to the channel. I am so happy that you're here today. We are going to be reading out of 1 Chronicles chapter 15, Amos chapter 3, and then we're going to close out our day with Revelation chapter 14. So let's get started with 1 Chronicles chapter 15. Here we go. David made himself houses in David's city, and he prepared a place for God's ark, and pitched a tent for it. Then David said, "No one ought to carry God's ark but the Levites, for Yahweh has chosen them to carry God's ark and to minister to him forever." David assembled all Israel at Jerusalem to bring up Yahweh's ark to its place, which he had prepared for it. David gathered together the sons of Aaron and the Levites. Of the sons of Kohath, Uriel the chief and his brothers, 120. Of the sons of Merari, Asaiah the chief and his brothers, 220. Of the sons of Gershom, Joel the chief and his brothers, 130. Of the sons of Elisaphan, Shemaiah the chief and his brothers, 200. Of the sons of Hebron, Eliel the chief and his brothers, 80. Of the sons of Uziel, Aminadab the chief and his brothers, 112. David called for Zadok and Abiathar the priests, and for the Levites. For Uriel, Asaiah, Joel, Shemaiah, Eliel, and Aminadab, and said to them, "You are the heads of the fathers' households of the Levites. Sanctify yourselves, both you and your brothers, that you may bring the ark of Yahweh, the God of Israel, up to the place that I have prepared for it. For because you didn't carry it at first, Yahweh our God broke out in anger against us, because we didn't seek him according to the ordinance." So the priests and the Levites sanctified themselves to bring up the ark of Yahweh, the God of Israel. The children of the Levites bore God's ark on their shoulders with its poles, as Moses commanded, according to Yahweh's word. David spoke to the chief of the Levites to appoint their brothers as singers with instruments of music, stringed instruments, harps, and cymbals, sounding aloud and lifting up their voices with joy. So the Levites appointed Haman, the son of Joel, and of his brothers, Asaph, the son of Berechiah, and the sons of Merari, their brothers, Ethan, the son of Kishiah, and with them their brothers of the second rank, Zechariah, Ben, Jeziel, Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Unai, Eliab, Benaiah, Messiah, Mattithiah, Eliphalehu, Micaniah, Obed-Edom, and Jael, the doorkeepers. So the singers, Heman, Asaph, and Ethan, were given cymbals of bronze to sound aloud, and Zechariah, Aziel, Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Unai, Eliab, Messiah, and Benaiah with stringed instruments set to Alamoth, and Mattithiah, Eliphalehu, Micaniah, Obed-Edom, Jael, and Azaziah with harps, tuned to the 8-stringed lyre to lead. Chenaniah, chief of the Levites, was over the singing. He taught the singers because he was skillful. Berechiah and Elkanah were doorkeepers for the ark. Shebaniah, Joshaphat, Nethanel, Amasai, Zechariah, Benaniah, and Eleazar the priest. They blew the trumpets before God's ark, and Obed-Edom and Jehiah were doorkeepers for the ark. So David, the elders of Israel, and the captains over thousands went to bring the ark of Yahweh's covenant up out of the house of Obed-Edom with joy. When God helped the Levites who bore the ark of Yahweh's covenant, they sanctified 7 bulls and 7 rams. David was clothed with a robe of fine linen, as were all the Levites who bore the ark, the singers, and Chaniah, the choir master, with the singers. And David had an ephod of linen on him. Thus all Israel brought the ark of Yahweh's covenant up with shouting, with the sound of the cornet, with trumpets, and with cymbals, sounding aloud with stringed instruments and harps. As the ark of Yahweh's covenant came to David's city, Michal, the daughter of Saul, looked out the window and saw King David dancing and playing, and she despised him in her heart. That is how you move the Ark of the Covenant without being killed. Here we go. Amos chapter 3. Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up out of the land of Egypt, saying, I have only chosen you of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your sins. Do 2 walk together unless they have agreed? Will a lion roar in the thicket when he has no prey? Does a young lion cry out of his den if he has caught nothing? Can a bird fall in a trap on the earth where no snare is set for him? Does a snare spring up from the ground when there is nothing to catch? Does the trumpet alarm sound in a city without the people being afraid? Does evil happen to a city and Yahweh hasn't done it? Surely the Lord Yahweh will do nothing unless he reveals his secret to his servants the prophets. The lion has roared. Who will not fear? The Lord Yahweh has spoken. Who can but prophesy? Proclaim in the palaces at Ashdod, and in the palaces in the land of Egypt, and say, Assemble yourselves on the mountain of Samaria, and see what unrest is in her, and what oppression is among them. Indeed, they don't know to do right, says Yahweh, who hoard plunder and loot in their places. Therefore the Lord Yahweh says, An adversary will overrun the land, and he will pull down your strongholds, and your fortresses will be plundered. Yahweh says, As the shepherd rescues out of the mouth of the lion 2 legs, or a piece of an ear, so shall the children of Israel be rescued who sit in Samaria on the corner of the couch, and on the silken cushions of a bed. Listen and testify against the house of Jacob, says the Lord Yahweh, the God of armies. For in the day that I visit the transgressions of Israel on him, I will also visit the altars of Bethel, and the horns of the altar will be cut off and fall to the ground. I will strike the winter house with the summer house, and the houses of ivory will perish, and the great houses will have an end, says Yahweh. All right, moving into Revelation chapter 14. A heavy day. Here we go. I saw, and behold, the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him a number, 144,000, having his name and the name of his Father written on their foreheads. I heard a sound from heaven like the sound of many waters and like the sound of a great thunder. The sound which I heard was like that of a harpist playing on their harps. They sing a new song before the throne and before the 4 living creatures and the elders. No one could learn the song except the 144,000, those who had been redeemed out of the earth. These are those who were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are those who follow the Lamb wherever he goes. These were redeemed by Jesus from among men, the first fruits to God and to the Lamb. In their mouth was found no lie, for they are blameless. I saw an angel flying in mid-heaven, having an eternal good news to proclaim to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said with a loud voice, "Fear the Lord and give him glory, for the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heaven, the earth, the sea, and the spring of waters." A second angel followed, saying, "Babylon the great has fallen, which has made all the nations to drink of the wine of the wrath of her sexual immorality." Another angel, a third, followed them, saying with a great voice, "If anyone worships the beast and his image, and receives a mark on his forehead or on his hand, he also will drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is prepared unmixed in the cup of his anger. He will be tormented with fire and sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. The smoke of their torment goes up forever and ever. They have no rest, day and night, those who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receives the mark of his name. Here is the perseverance of the saints, those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. I heard a voice from heaven saying, "Write, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Yes, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, for their works will follow with them." I looked and saw a white cloud, and on the cloud one sitting like the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. Another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him who sat on the cloud, "Send your sickle and reap, for the hour to reap has come, for the harvest of the earth is ripe." He who sat on the cloud thrust his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. Another angel came out of the temple, which is in heaven. He also had a sharp sickle. Another angel came out from the altar, he who has power over fire, and he called with a great voice to him who had the sharp sickle, saying, "Send your sharp sickle and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for the earth's grapes are fully ripe." The angel thrust his sickle into the earth and gathered the vintage of the earth and threw it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. The winepress was trodden outside of the city, and blood came out of the winepress up to the bridles of the horses, as far as 1,600 stadia. 1,600 stadia is 296 kilometers, or 184 miles. Oh, my goodness. 14, give me 1 second here, folks. Can we just play for a second? I just want to, I haven't been able to really show this to you before. This is not my normal Bible that I read. This is the Holy Bible, World English Bible. And you'll notice I'm always using two pieces. It's because the binding broke. And so my Bible is actually in three pieces right now. But the Bible that I use is a study Bible. And it has notes on the very bottom that explains a lot of the verses. This particular Bible does have some of that. It's not as detailed, but it does have some, kind of like the 1600 Stadias. But it also referenced Daniel chapter 7 when we were reading Revelation14:14, where it says, I looked and saw a white cloud, and on the cloud one sitting like the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. When I look at my notes down here, it's referencing a passage in Daniel. So give me 1 second to get to my other Bible. I just have to remember if Daniel is in the first. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Nope, it's in the second part. Here we go. Okay, so here's the book of Daniel. I'm very curious, and I'm not letting you go until I find out why this is referenced. If it's prophesied in Daniel. Daniel 7:13. All right, Daniel chapter 7:13. I saw in the night visions, and behold, there came with the clouds of the sky one like a son of man, and he came even to the ancient days, and they brought him near before me. Dominion was given him, and glory, and a kingdom, that all the peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which will not pass away, and his kingdom one that will not be destroyed. So you can see how the Bible it folds in together like a gear that makes the momentum, that makes the motion. I love that. So, thank you for your patience with that. Sometimes we're a little spontaneous on these days. Thank you for joining me today also. Please come on back for tomorrow, which will be day 319. Have the most wonderful day today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.